So I asked you guys on my Instagram which cake you wanted to see me make next, and you guys selected a date and nut cake. Very good choice. This cake is super easy to put together and it's absolutely delicious, one of our family favorites. And by the way, if you're not already following me on Instagram, please be sure to do so. I'm at Hot Chocolate Hits, and then you guys can also participate in these kinds of polls. And without further ado, let's get started with making this cake. Begin by pitting the dates. Now I'm using 300 grams of dates unpitted. This is 1 1/2 cups. Now I like to pit the dates by splitting them in half and then removing the seeds. And once all the dates are pitted, you can chop them up into bite-sized pieces. Think the size of miniature chocolate chips. Now it's key to have a sharp knife here because that makes a world of a difference. Tip the chopped dates into a large bowl and pour atop 50 ml or a 1/4 cup of dark rum. Now the rum is optional, you could replace it with coffee or hot water, but just try it, it works like magic. It adds a subtle caramel undertone to the loaf that you won't want to miss. You'll just have to trust me on this one. Let the dates soak up the rum for a few minutes. You can also do this overnight for a more pronounced flavor, but I'm rather impatient so I can't wait that long. But once you're satisfied with the dates and the rum, you can pour in a 1/2 cup of boiling water. Now if you choose to omit the rum, just use 3/4 of a cup of boiling water instead. Also tip in a teaspoon of baking soda and just stir the ingredients until well combined. Let the mixture sit while you prepare the rest of the ingredients. The mixture will become thick, and that's exactly what you want. Now just set that aside, and to 200 grams or to a 1.25 cups of all-purpose flour, I'm adding in a teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Just stir the ingredients together and set aside. Now go back to your dates and add in 150 grams or 2/3 cup of sugar. I'm using Demerara sugar. Regular granulated sugar is great as well. And also toss in 1 large egg. Add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now mix those together until they are combined, and now you can throw in a cup or 100 grams of roughly chopped walnuts. Now I like walnuts best in this recipe, but feel free to replace them with another nut of your liking. Once the nuts are well dispersed, you can fold in the flour mixture, scraping down the sides of the bowl till everything is incorporated. Finally, I'm pouring in 60 grams or a 1/4 cup of melted butter, stirring just to combine. The batter will be thick, incredibly flavorful, and beautifully fragrant. Pour the mixture into a loaf tin that's been greased or lined with a loaf liner or some baking paper. And you want to bake this for 50 to 55 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or just until a toothpick inserted comes out mostly clean, maybe with a few damp crumbs. Now, if you notice the top of the loaf beginning to brown too quickly, this might happen around 30 or 40 minutes after baking. You can just slide a piece of aluminum foil over the loaf tin and just continue baking. Just be careful not to open the oven door too much because that'll reduce the temperature of the oven and might affect the baking of the loaf. Let the date and nut loaf cool completely before slicing. Although it tastes lovely warm, it actually has a more pronounced flavor the next day, and I like to enjoy this date and nut loaf with a cup of coffee, perhaps with some butter on top. This is a family favorite, perfect for date lovers. It's very easy to put together. It's soft, delicious, and has a medley of flavors and textures. A recipe that you'll want to make again and again. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. I really hope you enjoyed learning how to make this recipe. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it and it would help me out a lot. And for more recipes like this, be sure to subscribe to Hot Chocolate Hits. And as always, the full printable recipe with all the instructions is written on the blog at hotchocolatehits.com. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.